Hey, hello friends. Welcome back to Blue Pig Reviews. Today we're going to be hitting another Blue Note, but this time it's Blue Note Honey Rye Cask. Blue Note Honey Rye Cask comes in this beautiful bottle, gold and green labeling. Comes in at 116 proof. Overall, what this product is a 95.5 rye that is aged for about 4 years. Those barrels are then used to age honey. Then that honey is taken out. Then this is put back in there for a couple of months, and that becomes this product. I paid about 65 bucks from this from consumers up in Middletown, maybe 69, somewhere in that range. I believe it was lower than that. It had to be around 65 bucks. And these are showing up, and Blue Note, of course, good stuff. So we had to go out and get this and try this. Overall, nice cork pop, very basic bottle. Let's get us a tasting glass. Get this tasted. And right when you open this bottle, you can smell the hints of that honey cask. We can tap it out. Let's give that a color check. It's like a burnished copper in color. It's not incredibly dark. On the nose, you get a lot of honey, floral, like a wildflower or like a orange blossom. Very sweet, wildflowery. Not too much else other than that. Very clingy to glass, and that's probably a lot of that is the honey. If you see a lot of honey finish, maple finish, they have a lot of leg to them. Let's give it a taste. And that translates. The spiciness of the rye and the sweetness of the honey go all the way through, all the way from start to finish. You definitely get a little heat on the swallow from that 116 proof and a little heat on the palate. Okay. So you start out with that honey, and immediately about the mid palate goes to a peppery rye and maybe an underlying tone of vegetal floral type of taste. Not really like an offensive taste, but rather just a note that there's definitely rye spice here. Sweet pepper all the way through, bit of citrus, sweet plays on the outside, swallows with pepper and sweetness straight through. Pretty simple, straightforward. This is great stuff, great sipper. Let's get a little water in this and see where this is going to. Give that a swirl. Like I always teach you, when you get a little water in here, sometimes it improves the smell here. It makes it smell much more floral, like you're out in a bunch of sweet flowers. On the palate, the rye spice has more minty, more herbal flavor once there's a little water added at the mid palate. It still finishes sweet with pepper. That just plays in the middle towards the back. Excellent sipper. Definitely the taste of the honey. Good stuff. I'm going to get this in a cocktail. The cocktail I'm thinking of for this is going to be an American Trilogy. American Trilogy is a pretty basic and common cocktail. It consists of your bourbon or rye, usually rye. Here, this is definitely a rye. We're going to use either Applejack or apple brandy. Here, I'm using the Laird's old apple brandy. This is 7.5 years old. I think it's going to go great with this. And we're going to need some Demerara syrup and some bitters. And we got Demerara syrup. And we got a little Ango if necessary. And we'll get that up on deck. And you can go either way. You can go without the Ango. I like to go with a little Ango in it. to get it going. But if your goal is really to get the apple and rye together, forego the ango and just go with your syrup and your and the apple jack. So we're gonna get that going. Pull out your mixing glass, measuring, and these are gonna be in equal parts. So, and I'm gonna do them in ounces. Sometimes you'll see them in 3/4 ounce. I'm like, small drink. This is your house. You can go big or go home. I'm gonna go big. I'm already home. 1 ounce of the Applejack. You can use any of Laird's products. Laird's is great at apple brandy. It's American, oldest American apple brandy. The Applejack is awesome. The 100 proof's a little higher up in there. I don't want to throw a high proof on a high proof. Most people will. It's not one of my things. I'm gonna get 1 ounce of this Blue Note with this honey in here. Get an ounce going. And and you can go 1.5 ounces if you wanted to. Spilling a little bit. You can go 1.5 ounces if you want to get more of that honey and that rye spice. And then I'm gonna get in here with a 1/2 ounce of this. I'm not gonna go that sweet. Some people will go the full ounce. I'm gonna go a 1/2 ounce. Right. Now you know what? Let's go the ounce. Let's go the ounce on the proof. And I'm gonna hit it with 2 angos. And then we're gonna give this a stir. I got the longest spoon that's ever been out there. Get that going. And you're looking at between 40. Some people go 70 rotations. I have a lot of ice in there. 40 should be enough. You want it to be chilled. Then you want it to dilute. It'll stop melting when it gets to the right temperature. That's good to go. Get our Hawthorne strainer. Get a nice glass. I'm going to use the bourbon cowboy glass. One of my favorites. Pop a little ice in there. Oh, spilling ice, huh? Sink is in the front, in case you didn't know. So I'm not throwing that out in the audience. I'm throwing it at the sink. Pour that over. Done with that. We're gonna garnish this with an orange, but I'm gonna garnish this with a lemon and an orange. So I'm gonna wedge out, and I'm gonna wedge out because I want people to squeeze whatever citrus they want in there. Get me an orange in there. They're both hanging out. They're not decorative, they're functional. Give that a whirl. Fabulous. Fabulous. I couldn't express how good these 3 work together with a full ounce of demerara syrup. This is sweet. You taste the honey, the rye spice. You taste the apple in there. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Laird's never lets me down. And of course, Blue Note isn't letting me down. And if you're thinking that, hey, this rye Blue Note, or do I get the Blue Note uncut, unfiltered, which I got over here? The difference between this is much sweeter. This right here is much more complex. No need not to have both. But like I said, if it tastes good, then you're drinking good, and it's all good. And this American trilogy inside of my bourbon cowboy cup tastes good, so you know it's all good. Cheers a good pouring from Blue Pig Reviews, and go out and try Blue Note honey rye rye cask, and at 116 proof. Find it out in your local liquor store. Give it a try. Cheers a good pouring, and if not, get a good rye and a good Applejack or good apple brandy, and make yourself an American trilogy, and be a good American, I guess. Good night.